Good evening, happy Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas Eve, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. Let's be politically correct here. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Football Talk for Friday, December 24th, 2021. We are nearing the end of the year, the end of what has been a fantastic year for me. I'm not really looking forward to it ending, but 2022, hopefully, knock on wood, it's going to be more of the same, perhaps even better. This will be my tight ends and quarterbacks, spikes, and yikes for week 16 for the second week of the playoffs. But real quickly, I just want to talk about some stuff because that's what I do. So there's a lot of really good movies coming out this weekend. Opening today, I think there's 5 that I saw, plus The Matrix, which I don't really care for The Matrix. I know I'm the one person in the world that didn't enjoy the Matrix trilogy, and this new one looks bad to me. I'm not even, the trailer did not enthrall me one bit, so I'm probably gonna skip on that one. I highly doubt I'm gonna be able to watch 5 movies in 1 week given the lack of free time that I have, but I do plan on going to one tonight after I film this, tomorrow, since I don't have to work at UPS. Because it's Christmas Day, although I'm still going to get paid. And also, I should be out early from my regular job because holidays are notoriously very dead at the airport. People do not travel on the holiday, so it's going to be slow. And tomorrow, I'm going to be fully devoted to Hopworks because 2 of my 3 restaurants will not be open. One of them will not be open at all, and the other one will only be open for a short period of time. My coworker and I tried to take care of them as best we could tonight before we left. So they're going to have very minimal need for anything tomorrow, which means I'm going to be 100% devoted to Hopworks, which is our moneymaker restaurant right now. And it's exactly what they want me. They want me to be their little errand boy bitch. And, you know, I've stubbornly declined because I believe in collectivism. I believe that everybody needs me and not just them. So I do my best to serve all my customers being restaurants. But Hopworks thinks that I need to devote all my time to them. And I've refused up to this point, but tomorrow I will have no choice. So that will be my Christmas gift to Hopworks, will be myself. My bright, cheery, positive self. Will be there to be their little errand boy for the entirety of the day, or for as long as I stay clocked in before they drive me nuts, which they will drive me nuts. I got my Secret Santa gift from my Secret Santa today. It was not so secret. He told me exactly who he was because he handed the gift to me with unwrapped. So it was unwrapped, and it was not a secret as to who it was, but he gave me a $25 Visa gift card, which, cool, that's basically cash. Cash is the best gift you can give somebody, so I can't really complain. So cool. Figure out what I'm going to use it for. It's a big old wad of cash that he just gave me. But anyway, let's get to it. I want to get out to the movie. I haven't even decided which movie I'm going to watch, but I want to try to catch the bus before 6:55 p.m. because my bus fare covers me until then. If I get on the bus after 6:55, I gotta pay again. So that should get me to the movie theater about 7:10, 7:15. There's like 3 of the 5 movies that have a showing around that time, so I'll decide when I get there, and then of course I'll probably talk about it tomorrow. But let's get to it. My tight ends and quarterbacks, spikes, and yikes. Starting with the tight ends, I've got 3 of each for you. Just real quickly though, I want to talk about something. Travis Kelce, despite being on the COVID list and being questionable to play, is still the #1 tight end for the week. That tells you all you need to know. Darren Waller, who's already been ruled doubtful, so he's probably not going to play, is still number 10 on the list. And then we got another guy we're going to talk about later. So my yikes at the tight end position for the week, starting with Kyle Pitts of the Falcons, number 4 versus the Lions. Kyle Pitts has been getting a lot of yards, a lot of targets, but it's not translating to touchdowns at this point. And really, to be an elite tight end, you need to rack up a ton of yards or touchdowns. he's not getting either. He's not a top 5 player for me this year. Obviously, this week. Obviously, he's very talented. He's going to be a fantastic player, probably as soon as next year, and definitely a guy to be hoarding in dynasty leagues. But as for this week, not a top 5 play. Jared Cook, 12 of the Chargers at the Texans. I don't care how depleted the tight end position is this week or this year. Jared Cook is not a starter in 12-team leagues. He does not belong in your lineups. And Pat Freiermuth of the Steelers has already been ruled out for the week. He's a 17 against the Chiefs. That would have been a good game for him, I'm going to guess. He probably would have been a top 12 play for the week, but since he's out, he's obviously not at 17. You probably should not play him. I mean, unless you're... It'd be ballsy if you want to take that goose egg at tight end in the second week of the playoffs, because you don't think anybody on the waiver wire is going to get you at least 1 point. But I wouldn't recommend that, going that route. Now for my spikes at the tight end position, Dallas Goedert's at 5. Eagles versus the Giants. Dallas Goedert has been playing outstanding football the last 2 weeks against the Giants. With the Eagles looking really good right now, they're going to stick with what's hot, and that's the running game and Dallas Goedert. I know he's already at 5. Can't get much higher than 5. I'm going to put him in the top 4. I'm going to drop Kyle Pitts down out of the 4 spot, put Dallas Goedert in the 4 spot. Next, Cole Kmet of the Bears, 13 at the Sea Squawks. Cole Kmet has really quietly been a very productive tight end over the last month or so. I think 13's a little low. I would put him in the bottom top 10 range. And then lastly, Hunter Henry of the Patriots at 16 versus the Bills. Hunter Henry has a knack for the end zone this season, and so and given the fact that he seems to be Mac Jones' favorite target down in that range, it's safe to anticipate a touchdown or 2 this week against the Bills, because somebody's got to score touchdowns for the Patriots in order for them to stay in that game. Most likely it's not going to be like the last game between these 2 teams. So I like Hunter Henry as a top 15 play this week. Now for the quarterbacks, moving on to the quarterbacks, my yikes at the position. I've got 4 of each for you, starting with Kyler Murray of the Cardinals. He's at 8 for the week versus the Colts. Now, Kyler Murray started the year on fire, looked like an MVP candidate, looked like a weekly top 3, weekly top 5 conservatively play, but he got hurt. He struggled, ended up getting hurt in the game, didn't play for a while. He's come back, really hasn't looked like himself. Now he doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins. He doesn't have that alpha in the wide receiving game. He's facing a tough defense in the Colts. The Cardinals are trending downward. The Colts are trending up. All signs suggest that Kyler Murray probably not going to be a top 10 play for this week. Unfortunately, we've rode Kyler Murray this far into the playoffs, but it might be a good idea to sit him against the Colts. Kirk Cousins of my Vikings at 11 for the week against the Rams. Kirk Cousins, I will admit, I've had a love-hate relationship with him. I was astounded by the signing of him when he was a free agent. I was so excited. I thought that he was... I thought he was going to be the guy who was going to lead us to the promised land, and I never thought he was a bad quarterback. He's just not a great quarterback. He's just in between, kind of like we are as a team. We are not a great team. We are not a bad team. We're a mediocre team, and we are a proxy of Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins, despite all that has gone wrong with this team this year, all the things that I hate about this team this year, Kirk Cousins has been one bright spot. He's been playing outstanding football all season. He looked like an MVP candidate for a little while. And he's been a top 10 quarterback for this season. But this week I don't like him. Jalen Ramsey should be back for the Rams. Adam Thielen may or may not be back. No Dalvin Cook. There's still questions about that offensive line. There's still questions about Kirk Cousins' ability to handle pressure and all that stuff. And we saw him last week against the Bears, the depleted Bears. He threw for less than 100 yards. So Not liking Kirk Cousins much this week. Still probably a top 12, definitely top 15 play. Maybe top 12, but I don't like him at 11. Russell Wilson of the Sea Squawks, 12 versus the Bears. Again, we saw Kirk Cousins struggle against the Bears secondary last week, and Russell Wilson has been struggling mightily since coming back from his injury. No reason to think that won't continue again this week. I feel it's going to be an ugly game between those two teams, so unless you're a fan of those two teams, probably should avoid that game at all costs. Lastly, Cam Newton of the Panthers at 14 versus the Buccaneers. Buccaneers still have a very good defense. It's not as elite and dominant as last year, but it's still very good. Antoine Winfield will be out for this game. Levante David will be out for this game. That could change things, but as it is, Cam Newton, despite a week and a half looking great, he hasn't looked too good in the last 3 years. I think his days as an elite quarterback are done. What could salvage his day possibly is some rushing touchdowns. But I still don't like him as a top 15 play. He's outside my top 15 for the week. Now moving on to the spikes at the quarterback position, starting with Josh Allen of the Bills. He's at 6 for the week against the Patriots. The Patriots have a very stout, dominant defense. They throughout Josh Allen's career, the Patriots have confused him and been able to make him look average. But I think I like him this week. Still as a top 5 play because we saw him struggle really badly in the first half of the game. Who did they play 2 weeks ago? I don't even remember who they played 2 weeks ago, but he didn't look good in the first half, and he completely ripped that team a new ass in the second half. It's hard to hold Josh Allen down for an entire 4 quarters, and I like Josh Allen as a top 5 play still for this week. Now, Tyler Huntley at 13 for the week, Lamar Jackson 24 for the week. Now, whichever quarterback ends up playing for the Ravens against the Bengals at Cincinnati will exceed their projections. That just feels like a safe bet. I may be biased as I have both of them in my money league, and I am banking on whichever one starts the game to have a big week. But, you know, history suggests that because of their ability to run, that they could have a bad week passing and still have a top 10 week, because we saw Taysom Hill throw 4 interceptions and still score 20 fantasy points. So Carson Wentz of the Colts, 16 at the Cardinals. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the Cardinals trending down, Colts are trending up. The Cardinals have a high-octane offense, so the Colts may have to throw the ball a lot to keep up. Carson Wentz also has the ability to get things done with his feet when needed. So Carson Wentz, for me, definitely still a top 15 play this week against in a game that should be high scoring and should be good for Michael Pittman as well. And lastly, if there's any week to love Matt Ryan this season, this is probably the week. He's facing the Detroit Lions. He's at 17 for the week. Russell Gage has really been coming on lately. Kyle Pitts is looking like everything that we thought he would be coming into the league. So a couple of nice weapons for the Falcons. Cordarrelle Patterson, Mike Davis. Although Mike Davis has been an immense disappointment, both of those guys are very valuable in the passing game as well. I do like Matt Ryan in 2 QB or Superflex leagues this week. He's also a top 15. I need to stop for a breath. Top 15 play at the position for me here in week 16. All right, that's the video. I will do running backs and wide receivers probably tomorrow before the games start. Maybe at work while I have some downtime. I'll do the research later on tonight, and because I can stay up a little later today. I can sleep in tomorrow, which is fantastic news. I've been spending like freaking almost $40 a Lyft ride this week because it's a holiday week and because of the time when I have to be there. It's just that tweener in between time, you know, 3 a.m., 3:15 a.m. is that, you know, time where the bars are closed and all the drunk people have been taken home, and it's a little too early for most people to be going to work. So there's just not a lot of drivers in that 3 to 4 a.m. time frame. which, you know, Lyft being the scummy company that it is, will jack up the price given the, you know, supply and demand, right? Because if there's a low supply, high demand, they're going to charge people more money. So, which I guess is normal for companies. There's just a lot of things about Lyft that is completely scummy to me that I just can't respect, and I wish that I did not have to use their services. That's why I will not be, that's why I'll be renting cars when I travel from now on, because I'm done with Lyft. I will use Lyft as a last resort. But anyways, yeah, I'm spending way too much money on transportation. I'm gonna end up spending more money this month on transportation than I do on where I live. So that's kind of a problem. I'm gonna have to get that fixed here soon. But Sunday, don't know how much time I'm gonna have to go car shopping this weekend, because Sunday I'm going to see my parents for Christmas, and then Monday, who the hell knows when I'll get home on Monday. So I'm not really gonna get any time to relax after my long ass week. Because being around my family is not relaxing at all. So, yeah, but I'm excited. I'm at the age now where getting Christmas gifts is not nearly as exciting as giving Christmas gifts. I like to see the reaction of people when they open the gift that I got them. You know, see that they're pleased, or especially now that I have nieces and nephews, see the reaction that they give me when they open their gift from their Uncle Bobo, which is the name that they so affectionately call me. Yeah, that means I'm getting old, right? Especially since, like, nowadays, like, my Christmas list is so small. Like, I struggle to even come up with one. So it's like, I pretty much know what I'm gonna get for Christmas. There's no surprise, and the surprise element was always the best part of Christmas, and that's pretty much gone anymore. So there's not a whole lot of excitement in receiving gifts for me anymore. But all right, I'm gonna end this merciful. I'm gonna be merciful to you, and I need to go see if I can catch the bus to the movie theater in time. So peace, love, and nacho fries. Hang loose. Good luck and good night.